Imagine spending 20 years taking your blood pressure pills exactly as prescribed, never missing a dose, keeping every doctor's appointment, believing you're doing everything right. Then one day, you find yourself lying in an operating room while a heart surgeon tells your family that your arteries are almost completely blocked. That happened to a man I'll never forget. He was 68 years old. He exercised when he could, avoided smoking, took 4 different medications for high blood pressure, and faithfully followed the advice he'd been given for years. Yet, when I looked inside his arteries during surgery, what I saw was alarming. The walls were thick, rigid, and heavily damaged. Blood could barely move through them. At that moment, one question kept running through my mind. How does someone who tried so hard still end up here? The answer wasn't simply genetics. It wasn't just age. And it certainly wasn't because his medications had failed. The real answer had been sitting in his kitchen for years, hidden in the foods he ate every single day. I'm Dr. Michael Carter. After more than 3 decades working with patients facing serious heart disease, I've learned something that often surprises people. Medication is incredibly important. For many patients, it saves lives. But medicine alone can't undo years of inflammation, poor nutrition, and damage occurring inside the blood vessels. Your daily food choices continue influencing your arteries long after you swallow your morning pill. And that's the part many people never hear about. Today's video isn't about replacing medication. It's not about miracle cures. And it's definitely not about ignoring your doctor's advice. Instead, it's about combining modern medicine with evidence-based nutrition that helps your cardiovascular system work the way it was designed to. Because when both work together, remarkable things can happen. Some patients notice better blood pressure readings. Others find they have more energy. Many simply feel healthier. Today, I'm going to share 5 simple food habits that support healthy blood pressure naturally. None require expensive supplements. None involve complicated meal plans. Most of these foods are probably already available at your local grocery store, and one of them may already be sitting in your pantry. Before we begin, I want you to understand something important about what actually changes inside your body after the age of 60. Most people believe high blood pressure happens because they eat too much salt or experience too much stress. While both can certainly play a role, they're only part of a much larger picture. The biggest change is happening inside your arteries themselves. Think about a brand new rubber garden hose. It's soft, flexible. When water rushes through it, the walls expand slightly, absorbing pressure with ease. Now imagine leaving that hose outside in the sun for 20 years. Over time, it becomes stiff, less flexible. Eventually, it starts cracking. Water flowing through that old hose creates much higher pressure because the walls can no longer stretch the way they once did. Your arteries change in much the same way. As we age, years of inflammation, oxidation, elevated blood sugar, and other metabolic changes gradually reduce the flexibility of our blood vessels. The arteries become less elastic. The heart has to pump harder. Blood pressure slowly climbs. Unfortunately, this process doesn't happen overnight. It develops silently over decades. You don't feel inflammation damaging your blood vessels. There isn't an alarm that goes off. There are no flashing warning lights. The damage accumulates quietly until one day it appears as high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, or kidney problems. That's why prevention matters so much. And that's where nutrition becomes incredibly powerful. Every meal sends chemical signals throughout your body. Some foods calm inflammation, others increase it. Some help blood vessels relax, others encourage them to tighten. Every breakfast, every lunch, every dinner, you're either helping your arteries recover or asking them to work even harder. The exciting part is that your body responds surprisingly quickly when you begin making better choices. Your arteries are living tissue. They're constantly adapting. Give them the right environment, and they often begin functioning more efficiently than many people expect. That's exactly why I'm making today's video. Not to promise overnight miracles, not to tell you to throw away your medications, but to show you practical habits that can support the treatment plan you and your healthcare provider have already created. By the end of this video, you'll know 5 simple dietary strategies that may help support healthier blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and improve overall cardiovascular health. Some of them take less than 30 seconds a day. Let's begin with the easiest change of all, one that doesn't require buying any new food at all. Before I tell you what to eat, let me ask you a simple question. When you sit down for dinner, what usually disappears from your plate first? For many people, it's the bread or the rice, maybe the mashed potatoes. Sometimes it's the pasta. It seems harmless because that's how most of us have eaten our entire lives. But what if I told you that changing nothing except the order in which you eat your food could help support healthier blood sugar levels and may even improve your blood pressure over time? It sounds almost too simple, but there's fascinating science behind it. Number 1. Eat your vegetables before anything else. Several years ago, one of my patients, Susan, came in frustrated. She was 72, took her medications exactly as prescribed, and still couldn't understand why her blood pressure was always a little higher after dinner. She expected me to recommend another prescription. Instead, I gave her a very unusual challenge. For the next 3 weeks, I told her not to change what she ate. Just change when she ate it. Every meal started with vegetables. Only after finishing them could she move on to protein. Carbohydrates came last. 3 weeks later, she returned smiling. Her home blood pressure readings had become more consistent. She also noticed something unexpected. She wasn't nearly as sleepy after meals. Here's why this happens. Vegetables are packed with fiber. When fiber reaches your stomach first, it slows the speed at which carbohydrates are digested and absorbed. Instead of sugar rushing into your bloodstream all at once, it enters gradually. That smaller rise in blood sugar means your body doesn't need to release as much insulin. Why does that matter? Because frequent spikes in insulin don't just affect diabetes, they also influence your blood vessels. High insulin levels encourage the body to retain sodium and can increase activity in the nervous system, both of which may contribute to higher blood pressure in some people. Keeping blood sugar steadier doesn't just benefit glucose control, it also creates a calmer environment for your arteries. And the best part? You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need special recipes. You simply change the order. Here's an easy formula you can remember. Vegetables first, protein second, starches and sweets last. Whether you're eating chicken and potatoes, fish with rice, or a sandwich with salad, start with the vegetables. It's one of the easiest habits you can build, and over time, those small choices begin adding up. Number 2. The simple kitchen ingredient. Many people overlook. Now let's move to something that's probably sitting in a kitchen cabinet right now. Apple cider vinegar. Some people think it's another internet fad. Others believe it's a miracle cure. The truth is somewhere in the middle. It's not magic. But research suggests it may offer modest benefits when used appropriately as part of a healthy diet. The key ingredient is acetic acid. Studies suggest acetic acid may help improve the body's response to insulin after meals. That means blood sugar may rise more gradually instead of spiking sharply. Some research also suggests vinegar may have a small positive effect on blood vessel function, although it's certainly not a replacement for prescribed blood pressure treatment. Think of it as one helpful tool, not the entire toolbox. If you'd like to try it, here's the safest approach. Mix 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar into a large glass of water. Drink it with a meal rather than on an empty stomach. Never drink it straight. Undiluted vinegar is highly acidic and can damage tooth enamel or irritate the throat and stomach. Using a straw and rinsing your mouth afterward can also help protect your teeth. If you have stomach ulcers, severe acid reflux, kidney disease, or take medication such as insulin or diuretics, speak with your healthcare provider before adding it to your routine. Safety always comes first. Now, does apple cider vinegar lower blood pressure overnight? No. Can it replace medication? Absolutely not. But when combined with healthy eating, regular activity, good sleep, and medical treatment, it may become one more small habit that supports better cardiovascular health. And that's an important lesson. Long-term heart health usually isn't built on one dramatic change. It's built on dozens of small decisions repeated every single day. Because when those habits work together, they become far more powerful than any one habit alone. In the next section, I'll show you why one handful of nuts before bedtime and a bright red herbal tea have attracted so much attention from researchers studying healthy blood pressure, and the results may surprise you.